you know, um, and he talked about how he could be PC, and Clinton talked about her ideas on Syria. We got a few things we can talk about here. Okay.
Here we go in 5.
Welcome back to Daybreak USA.
Oh, yes, indeed. Welcome back. We have Lieutenant Randy Sutton. He is with Blue Lives Matter. He is also an author. He is a radio host. He is an actor. He is a speaker, and he joins us weekly. Oh, you like that, huh, Randy? Me giving you the whole big hype right there.
I like it. Yeah, keep on going.
All right. I'm on a roll now. Okay. Boy, this is very upsetting, this topic. We're going to talk about, let's hear a little bit first from the police officer involved in this particular situation. A suspect in the murder of 2 California police officers is going to be eligible for the death penalty. The Riverside County DA, Mike Hestrin, says that John Felix, he's the suspect in the murder of the 2 officers, is going to be charged with first-degree murder with special circumstances. Take a listen.
I consider a brutal murder of a police officer to be a very heinous crime.
So these 2 officers, as you know, responding to a family disturbance, and there was a 12-hour standoff. So kind of give us the lowdown what you know, Randy.
It was much more than that. This was a premeditated assassination of police officers. This individual, John Felix, I don't even like to mention his name because I don't even like to give him his fame. Is a gang member, is a convicted gang member who served only 2 years after shooting another gang punk on an assassination, what was determined to be an assassination attempt. Now, the only guy, get this, Angie, he shot a guy. Now, he's prohibited to have a weapon to begin with. He uses a gun, and he gets sentenced to 4 years. Out of that, Governor Moonbeam over in the state of California allows him to be released after 2 years. So he only serves 2 years out of a lousy 4-year sentence for attempted murder. Now, and he had some other issues with law enforcement as well. Served no extra time for that. Now, on this day, he purposefully called the police in order to lure them to his house.
Oh my goodness! When
he shot them through the door when they walked up on the house. This was a premeditated, and he took the life of a young mother, a police officer who just got back from giving birth 4 months ago, and another senior officer who was about to retire, and shot a third as well. Now, here's what is so disturbing about this, Angie, is we have seen the deaths of police officers rise by more than almost 60%. The murders of police officers. And the number of them being assassinated. Just last week in Los Angeles County, a sergeant, Steve Owen, was gunned down and then executed. He stood over his body and pumped bullets into the officer's head. We are seeing this on an ongoing. We have lost more cops than we have soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan this year. And they say there's no war on cops. What we're seeing is unprecedented.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the political correctness that has been a problem. I know you've talked about the administration not being supportive of Blue Lives. Donald Trump was asked about Islamophobia last night at the second presidential debate in St. Louis, and he called it a shame, but argued that the U.S. must take tougher steps to curb the threat of terrorism. And Hillary Clinton said there are millions of law-abiding Muslims in the U.S. Here we go.
It's also very short-sighted and even dangerous to be engaging in the kind of demagogic rhetoric that Donald has about Muslims.
She's really turned it into like that he's a hateful person, that he has a lot of hate. But he says that the PC world we live in is causing problems for us.
Absolutely. We can transfer this to all over the place, including, first of all, who's going to be fighting the terrorists and who has been fighting the terrorism that has occurred in this country? It's the police. And are they getting extra training for it? No. Are they getting extra money for it? No. In fact, they had much of their safety equipment taken away from President Obama a couple of years ago when he took away the, quote, military style equipment, like the vehicles that are used to rescue hostages. They took that away from law enforcement because of the political correctness of the police are too militarized. Oh, we don't want them to look like military. So who's going to bear the brunt of it is law enforcement. Now, just last week, Angie, talk about political correctness. This will blow your mind. The Department of Justice has which is of course one of the most politicized law enforcement organizations in the country under Obama and Loretta Lynch. They came out with a report that was talking about how we need to diversify law enforcement. And do you know what they cited as one of the reasons for low diversification? Let me quote this: burdensome hiring requirements.
Oh, interesting.
Think of that term, burdensome hiring requirements. You mean like, and then they said that that police departments should consider ex-felons, drug offenders, and ex-felons to become cops.
Really?
That, honest to God, that's one of the burdensome hiring requirements cited by the Department of Justice. It's madness. Madness.
All right, we only have about a minute left. How is that young man doing that had posted his support for a police on his social media page, and then he was beaten up by some adults? Brian Ogle, was it? How is he doing?
Right. I talked to his grandmother just a couple days ago. He's not doing very well. He's awfully confused. He doesn't know where he is a lot of the time. He's conscious some of the time. So there is improvement as far as that goes, but he's still facing a really uphill battle. And this was simply because he posted pro-police comments on his Facebook page. So what we're seeing is people attacked for
supporting the police. Randy, Blue Lives Matter. This will go up on Daybreak USA and Randy's Facebook page, and we'll have an address if you want to send a card to that young man. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Angie.
Be right back.